Welcome back to the channel Rare Coins History. What if I told you that a tiny copper disc in your pocket, barely taller than your thumb, could connect you directly to a moment in American history you never imagined, and that the right one can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars in today's market? I invite you to lean in close as we explore the saga of the 1941 Lincoln wheat penny, its birth, its subtle identifiers, its rarities, and why serious collectors still hunt these coins with a passion unmatched among 1-cent pieces. In 1941, the United States Mint struck millions of pennies bearing the image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the iconic twin wheat stalks on the reverse, a design crafted decades earlier by artist Victor D. Brenner. The metal composition was the classic 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, out of which Lincoln cents had been made since 1909. Each coin weighed 3.11 grams and measured 19 millimeters in diameter. In 1941, that meant each penny was lighter than a leaf, but heavier with legacy. That year the mint operated 3 facilities: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, with a D, and San Francisco, with an S. The Philadelphia Mint struck a colossal 887 million coins. Denver produced about 128.7 million, and San Francisco coined roughly 92.36 million pennies. The lower mintage from San Francisco gives the 1941 S variety a subtle edge for collectors, but even that remains far from a scarcity until you hit uncirculated or error examples. In everyday circulation, the vast majority of 1941 pennies ended up worn, scratched, darkened, ordinary pocket change. In such circulated condition, their value typically remains just a few cents above face value. Many collectors and dealers advise against cleaning these coins for resale, because improper cleaning tends to destroy original surface detail and reduces collector value significantly. A seemingly insignificant wash can cost you decades of numismatic potential. The real magic for collectors begins when you find a 1941 penny in uncirculated condition, especially with original red luster. These coins may carry design details that remain crisp. Lincoln's hair strands can appear distinct, the wheat ears on the reverse remain sharply defined, and fields are smooth and free of heavy contact marks. That pristine preservation can push value from a few cents to double-digit dollars or more. For 1941 pennies, the condition grade matters more than mint mark when it comes to value. An MS-65 red uncirculated 1941 wheat cent may fetch modest premium over common pennies but remains within reach of many collectors. As condition climbs toward gem uncirculated grades like MS-66, MS-67 and beyond, the value increases dramatically. At those stages, the eye appeal, color, and strike quality make or break a coin's desirability. Errors and varieties from 1941 add another chapter of intrigue. Collectors often hunt for rare double die obverse (DDO) examples, especially among 1941 S coins. On certain early San Francisco struck pennies, the die was misaligned or improperly hubbed, leaving a subtle doubling of letters or date digits. When correctly authenticated and graded, these error coins command far more interest and value than standard strikes, even more than many coins with higher mintages. Now here is the moment of truth. Recent verified auction records for 1941 wheat pennies show why serious collectors keep hunting for these humble cents. A 1941 penny graded MS-68 sold at auction for nearly $9,600, a staggering number for a coin with a face value of 1 cent. High-grade 1941 S specimens graded MS-67 plus red have sold for $710 in public auction. A 1941 no mint mark penny graded MS-67 fetched $380. Another gem 1941 wheat cent graded MS-67 plus red sold for $480 just a few years back. These realized prices confirm that condition and eye appeal, not just rarity, drive premium in the wheat penny market. If you hold a 1941 Lincoln wheat penny in uncirculated condition with strong original red color and crisp strike, you might be holding far more than a relic. You could have a key piece of American numismatic heritage worth serious attention. Keep it original. Keep it graded. And keep it safe. Your pocket change might just be priceless in the eyes of a dedicated collector. Have you ever held a coin so ordinary, yet hiding a story that could shake the foundations of American numismatics? Today, we're diving into the 1942 Lincoln Wheat Cent, one of the most deceptively simple coins ever minted, yet packed with wartime secrets, mint-mark mysteries, and values that have shocked collectors across the nation. From the moment you pick up a 1942 wheat penny, you're touching a piece of early World War II America, a time when the nation's metal supply was under pressure, and the U.S. Mint was forced to rethink how it produced every single coin in circulation. The 1942 Lincoln Wheat Penny continues the legendary Victor David Brenner design that first appeared in 1909, featuring President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a groundbreaking choice at the time, marking the first use of a real historical figure on a circulating U.S. coin. The reverse proudly displays the classic wheat ears design, symbolizing national prosperity and agricultural strength, an image that remained iconic until 1959, when the memorial reverse replaced it, making these wheatbacks essential relics of America's early 20th century identity. For the 1942 issue, 3 mint locations struck the coin: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with the letter D, and San Francisco with the letter S, each carrying its own production numbers, strike characteristics, and unique collector appeal. Philadelphia produced the largest number of 1942 cents, and although they're common in circulated grades, collectors still pursue sharply struck examples with full detail on Lincoln's beard, coat lines, and the wheat stalks, all of which can dramatically increase a coin's desirability. The 1942 D from the Denver Mint often shows stronger strikes compared to Philadelphia, but many Denver coins suffer from small planchet flaws and minor die deterioration, making high-grade, lustrous examples far scarcer than their mintage suggests. The 1942 S Lincoln Cent stands out for its lower mintage and frequent striking weakness. San Francisco coins often display softer details on Liberty, Trust lettering, and the wheat ears, making well-struck specimens highly prized by advanced collectors. One of the most exciting aspects of 1942 wheat cents lies in their error varieties, including double dies, repunched mint marks, clipped planchets, die cracks, and the famous transitional anomalies seen in the years immediately before America's steel cent transformation of 1943. Among these, the 1942 DD/D repunched mint mark varieties are favorites among specialists, showing dramatic doubling under magnification and often commanding significant premiums when found in crisp, uncirculated condition. Careful collectors also hunt for die wear patterns, early die state brilliance, and premium quality surfaces on 1942 cents, particularly those with full mint luster, minimal contact marks, and rich, original coloration ranging from bright red to deep mahogany brown. Many 1942 cents were heavily circulated during the war years, which means that today's advanced collectors aggressively pursue MS-65, MS-66, and MS-67 graded examples, with the rarest being fully red RB or RD designations from major grading services, true trophies for top-tier registry sets. Even though the 1942 wheat penny is considered a common date, the highest grade survivors are anything but common, and these gems reveal how quality, luster, and eye appeal can elevate a 1-cent coin into a centerpiece worthy of investment-level attention. When it comes to the breathtaking top-end market, certified examples of the 1942 and 1942 D cents graded MS 67 RD have achieved spectacular results, with multiple verified auction records exceeding several $1,000s, and the finest 1942 S examples have pushed into similarly impressive territory as collectors battle for population top coins. These remarkable prices prove that even a wartime penny can reach elite-level value when rarity meets immaculate preservation, and they keep the 1942 series alive as one of the most popular and consistently researched issues in the entire wheat penny lineup. So if you're hunting for a coin that blends history, wartime economics, design legacy, era variety excitement, and serious collector potential, the 1942 Lincoln Wheat Cent, with its Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mint marks, remains one of the most rewarding numismatic treasures you can add to your collection. What if I told you that one of the most ordinary coins in American pockets, a simple 1944 Lincoln Wheat penny, hides secrets worth thousands, and in some cases, hundreds of thousands of dollars? Today, we unlock the mysteries buried deep within the 1944 1-cent series, a coin born in the shadow of World War II and packed with mint mark intrigue, dramatic errors, and some of the most astonishing numismatic surprises ever recorded. The year 1944 placed the United States Mint at a crossroads. As the nation was fully immersed in wartime production and urgently needed copper to build ammunition and electrical equipment, forcing major changes in penny production the year before, changes that carried surprising effects into 1944. The obverse of the 1944 wheat cent proudly continues Victor David Brenner's legendary portrait of Abraham Lincoln, chosen in 1909 to honor his centennial and representing the first time an actual American historical figure appeared on a circulating U.S. coin, a decision that reshaped American numismatics forever. On the reverse, the wheat ears emblem stands tall once again, symbolizing prosperity and national endurance during a time when millions of Americans were sacrificing for the war effort, making this coin a powerful reminder of the nation's unity and determination. 3 mints struck the 1944 wheat cent: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with the letter D, and San Francisco with the letter S, each producing massive quantities of bronze cents due to the rejection of the problematic 1943 zinc-coated steel composition used the previous year. The Philadelphia 1944 cent, with its enormous mintage, remains common in circulated grades, but premium collectors specifically hunt for vibrant red specimens with razor-sharp details on Lincoln's beard, bow tie, and the delicate wheat lines, qualities that set top population coins apart. The 1944 D from Denver is similarly plentiful but notorious for minor striking irregularities, including soft central details and occasional die-flow lines that make high-grade, fully lustrous examples significantly harder to find for advanced registry set enthusiasts. The 1944 S wheat cent, though still well-produced, remains the scarcest of the 3 mint marks in premium grade, often showing reduced sharpness in the motto and wheat ears due to worn dies, making sharply struck, full red San Francisco examples especially desirable among experts. And then there are the errors, the heart-pounding reason why 1944 cents have become legends in the hobby, with transitional wrong planchet strikes, double dies, repunched mint marks, broad strikes, die cracks, clipped planchets, and the extraordinarily famous steel planchet mistakes that slipped into circulation. The most sensational varieties in the 1944 series are the ultra-rare 1944 steel cents accidentally struck on leftover 1943 zinc-coated planchets, including the 1944 no-mint mark steel cent, the elusive 1944 D steel cent, and the near-impossible 1944 S steel cent. Coins so rare that most collectors never see one in person during their entire lifetime. Beyond these headline-making rarities, specialists also search for premium die states, strong strikes, and exceptional luster combinations that push certain 1944 cents into elite collector territory, especially those certified in MS-66 and MS-67 red, which represent the highest attainable quality for the regular copper issues. As collectors know, most 1944 cents lived hard lives in circulation, spending decades in pockets, cash drawers, and wartime economy exchanges, making pristine survivors extremely scarce and igniting fierce competition whenever top-grade examples appear on the high-end market. Even though the majority of 1944 pennies are common, the combination of design legacy, historical wartime context, remarkable mint mark varieties, and breathtaking error coins makes this series one of the most studied and passionately collected in all of U.S. numismatics. Now let's talk about the real excitement: the market prices. Regular 1944, 1944 D, and 1944 S copper cents in MS-67 red have repeatedly sold for impressive amounts, often ranging from several hundred to several $1,000s, with standout premium examples pushing beyond $5,000. Even more astonishing, the ultra-rare steel cents have shattered expectations. The 1944 no-mint mark steel cent has reached prices around $180,000, the legendary 1944 D steel cent has soared beyond $115,000, and the almost mythical 1944 S steel cent has achieved results above $400,000, with top-grade examples speculated to be worth far more if they ever reappear at auction. These extraordinary results prove that a coin as seemingly simple as a 1-cent wheat penny can carry staggering value when rarity, history, and immaculate preservation collide, making the 1944 series one of the most thrilling and rewarding hunts in the entire realm of American coin collecting. So when you encounter a 1944 wheat penny, whether Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, take a closer look, because hidden beneath that timeless portrait of Lincoln might be an unsuspecting treasure, a wartime relic, or even one of the rarest transitional errors ever produced by the United States Mint. Today, this video dives deep into the 1946 Lincoln wheat penny, a coin that seems ordinary at first glance, but when you know what to look for, it becomes a time capsule of U.S. history and a battlefield for avid numismatists. In 1946, the familiar 95% copper, 5% tin zinc bronze alloy returned to the penny after wartime disruptions, a symbolic return to normalcy as America emerged from the global conflict. The weight, size, and metallic composition of the 1946 penny, 3.11 grams, 19.05 millimeters diameter, plain edge, echoed decades of tradition, preserving the classic feel that generations of Americans carried in their pockets. The obverse bears the distinguished portrait of Abraham Lincoln, sculpted by Victor David Brenner, a design first introduced in 1909, while the reverse showcases the iconic twin wheat ears framing the denomination and the motto, E pluribus unum, a design that would remain until 1958. That year, the U.S. Mint struck 1,505,445,000 Lincoln cents. Spread across 3 mints, Philadelphia, no mint mark, with roughly 991,655,000 coins, Denver, marked D, with about 315,690,000, and San Francisco, marked S, with about 198,100,000 pieces. Despite this massive output, the 1946 penny remains a special coin for collectors, especially in high-grade or rare variety. The Philadelphia minted 1946, no mint mark, is by far the most common. Still, collectors search for gems with full original red color, crisp detail on Lincoln's cheek and beard, sharp strike on the motto and date, and pristine wheat stalks on the reverse. A fully lustrous, properly graded specimen can elevate what seems to be a mundane penny into a quietly valuable centerpiece. The 1946 D from Denver carries more subtle appeal, thanks to slightly lower mintage and often stronger strikes than its Philadelphia counterpart. Yet many Denver pieces suffer from die wear or slight softness, meaning that top-grade, red, RD, or red-brown, RB, survivors are prized by those seeking registry-quality examples. The 1946 S from San Francisco is the scarcest normal strike variety of the year. With the lowest mintage among the three, collectors are well struck, high-grade San Francisco examples, ones with bold mint marks, sharp lettering, and smooth fields, as the most desirable, common date, sent from 1946, but the real thrill for advanced enthusiasts lies in the error coins and lesser-seen varieties. For 1946 pennies, documented anomalies include double dies, especially on the obverse inscriptions like Liberty or In God We Trust, repunched mint marks, RPM, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and other minting quirks that survived wartime production pressures. There are even tales, albeit extremely rare, of over-mint mark coins, where an initial D mint mark was mistakenly punched then over-punched with an S, producing a visible S over D mint mark variant that draws serious attention from error collectors, because so many 1946 pennies entered everyday circulation. Used, spent, exchanged, premium survivors are scarce. That scarcity fuels demand among registry set builders and collectors who appreciate eye appeal, original copper hue, bright red or mellow red-brown, and flawless surfaces, transforming an everyday cent into a coveted treasure. Now, let's talk real numbers, the kind that get experienced collectors' hearts racing. According to auction records from top grading services, a 1946 regular strike wheat penny graded MS-67 sold for as much as $14,950. A 1946 D MS-67 Plus RD, top quality from Denver, realized $3,120 in a recent auction. And perhaps the most dramatic, a 1946 S wheat penny graded MS-67 Plus RD fetched a staggering $16,800. These results prove that even a common penny can achieve extraordinary value when condition, strike, and preservation align. if you're hunting coins that combine historical significance, classic design, mint-mark nuance, and the potential for serious numismatic value, the 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny, in any mint variety, might just be one of the best, everyday treasures, hiding quietly in plain sight. Today, we journey deep into the 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny, a coin that looks ordinary, but for those who know, it carries stories of craftsmanship, mint-mark nuance, and rare varieties capable of igniting any serious collector's passion. In 1950, the composition of the penny was stable, 95% copper and 5% tin zinc bronze, weighing 3.11 grams and measuring 19.05 millimeters, the same tried-and-true specifications that had defined the Lincoln cent for decades. The obverse presents the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, sculpted by Victor David Brenner, a design first introduced in 1909, while the reverse continues to feature the wheat ears motif along with the inscription, 1 cent, and E pluribus unum, a combination that symbolized the nation's unity and prosperity in post-war America. The 1950 cent was struck at 2 mints, Philadelphia, with no mint mark, and Denver, with the letter D, but unlike many earlier issues, there was no production from San Francisco that year, making the 1950 D the scarcer of the 2 mint varieties and an important target for serious collectors seeking full-set wheat penny runs. The Philadelphia 1950 penny remains common in circulated grades, yet for expert collectors, the real goal is to uncover pieces with original red coloration, full and sharp strikes, pristine fields, and razor-crisp wheat stalk detail on the reverse, characteristics that dramatically elevate what seems like a simple cent into a registry-worthy coin. The 1950 D from the Denver Mint carries more intrigue. Many Denver strikes display deeper relief and bolder lettering compared to their Philadelphia counterparts, but the mintage difference and variation in die use make high-grade, full-red 1950 D coins significantly rarer and far more sought after among advanced numismatists, beyond regular strikes. The 1950 Wheat Cent series offers a handful of intriguing varieties and error coins, repunched mint marks, RPM, weak strikes, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, and other mint anomalies that draw the attention of specialist collectors who relish the thrill of discovery and cataloging. Collectors often search meticulously among 1950 pennies for those with eye appeal, evenly distributed original red luster, minimal contact marks, bold, unbroken rims, and full detail in Lincoln's hair and coat. Since these subtle visual attributes separate typical circulated cents from high-end, uncirculated treasures, because the 1950 series marked one of the final stretches before the memorial reverse replaced the wheat ears in 1959, many collectors view these coins as part of the last chapter of a defining era, which adds emotional and historical weight to owning a clean, high-condition specimen. Now, let's talk about the numbers that excite seasoned collectors. Rare, properly graded 1950 and 1950 D wheat pennies have achieved impressive auction results. In top-grade uncirculated condition, particularly red MS-66 or MS-67 specimens, several 1950 pennies have commanded prices in the 4-figure range, with premium 1950 D examples sometimes fetching prices up to nearly $2,000. These sale results prove that even a seemingly common coin like the 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny can deliver serious numismatic value when preserved with exceptional strike, luster, and eye appeal, making it a compelling target for registry set builders, historic era collectors, and ambitious investment-oriented hobbyists alike. If you're hunting coins that combine deep American history, classic design continuity, mint-mark subtlety, and true potential for long-term value, the 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny, both no mint mark and 1950 D, stands as a timeless, rewarding cornerstone for any serious collection. Today we dive deep into the 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny, a coin that looks ordinary at first glance, yet carries a legacy of craftsmanship, mint-mark intrigue, and collector potential that can rival far rarer issues. In 1951 the penny retained the trusted composition of 95% copper and 5% tin zinc bronze, weighing 3.11 grams and measuring 19.05 millimeters, unchanged from decades prior, a small, steady constant through an era of global upheaval and national rebuilding. The obverse features the dignified portrait of Abraham Lincoln, sculpted by Victor David Brenner, the enduring design first released in 1909, while the reverse presents the classic twin wheat ear motif with 1 cent, United States of America, and E pluribus unum, a timeless combination that ties 1951 to nearly half a century of American numismatic tradition. For 1951, the U.S. Mint struck pennies at 2 mints, Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver, mint mark D, but there was no production at San Francisco, making the 1951 D varieties the rarest normal-issue coins of the year and therefore a prime focus for advanced collectors aiming for complete wheat penny sets. The 1951 Philadelphia strike remains common in circulated grades, yet the real interest lies in high-grade, full red survivors with sharp strikes, clean fields, and vibrant original color. Collectors pay special attention to crisp detail on Lincoln's coat folds, his hair strands, his cheek, and the intricate wheat stalk lines on the reverse, attributes that turn a plain cent into a subtle gem. The 1951 D from Denver is more elusive. Many Denver strikes show slightly deeper relief and bolder lettering compared to Philadelphia coins, but due to lower production and frequent circulation wear, well-preserved, uncirculated red or red-brown 1951 D pennies are significantly scarcer and much more prized by registry set hunters and specialists. Beyond standard strikes, the 1951 wheat penny series offers a handful of fascinating varieties and error coins, repunched mint marks, RPM, weak strike issues, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, and the occasional die flow line, giving dedicated collectors an opportunity to dig deep and discover pieces that few others notice. A personal coin hunting adventure. For serious numismatists, the key to true value lies not just in date and mint mark, but in strike quality, surface preservation, and eye appeal. A 1951 penny with original red luster, minimal contact marks, unbroken rims, and sharp, complete detail could quietly outperform many more desirable coins, especially when graded by major third-party services, because 1951 coins circulated heavily, used in everyday commerce across a recovering America. The number of pristine survivors is limited. That scarcity, combined with increasing demand for registry-quality examples, keeps the 1951 wheat penny series alive as a favorite among serious collectors and investment-minded numismatists alike. Now, let's get to the numbers that make veteran collectors' hearts race. High-grade 1951 and 1951 D wheat pennies have achieved impressive auction results. A 1951 MS-66 red wheat penny has been documented selling for around $1,450, while a top-grade 1951 D MS-66 red piece fetched close to $1,980, results that prove a seemingly modest wheat penny can deliver strong value when condition, strike quality, and preservation align. If you're building a collection rooted in American history, classic design, mint mark subtlety, and long-term numismatic value, the 1951 Lincoln wheat penny, both no mint mark and 1951 D variants, stands as a timeless, rewarding cornerstone that truly earns a place in any serious assemblage.